Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Ounce of Wisdom. I'm Ben Blankenship, owner of Accuo Business Coaching and Advising. As always, to get things started, I am joined by Kelly Fry. Hey Kelly, thanks again for lining up such great guests.
Absolutely, Ben. I'm excited for today's guest. As viewers may know, you are a certified Scaling Up coach, and today we will be joined by the founder of Scaling Up himself, Verne Harnish. And Scaling Up is a global executive education and coaching firm with over 290 partners across 6 continents. But Verne also founded the globally renowned Entrepreneurs Organization, EO, with over 18,000 members worldwide. And he launched that flagship when he was at MIT, and he's still teaching there today.
That's awesome. Thanks, Kelly. You know, Verne is a special person, and he has spent the last 40 years helping companies navigate growth and complexity and chaos and change. He's also the author of many books. 2 that are most notable are Scaling Up, Mastering the Rockefeller Habits 2.0 and Start to Scale. He is a global scale-up fellow at Harvard, and he's a board member at various different organizations. And, you know, this is just grazing his incredible resume. People are regularly reaching out to him to help solve very complex problems and really in leading through uncertain times. And boy, we have some really interesting times globally as well as in the U.S. And so who better to have on Ounce of Wisdom than Verne Harnish himself?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm thrilled he made some time to join us and talk with you today. I can't wait to listen in. And I know so many entrepreneurs are going to benefit from just hearing him talk about staying grounded and on focus when things are so unpredictable. It's going to be great.
I agree. Well, let's dive in. Verne, thank you so much for joining us on Ounce of Wisdom today.
Ben, it's good to be with you as always.
So I have a really interesting topic. People are feeling this across the globe. We're feeling it in the U.S. And it regards how you lead through uncertain times. And so, you know, global and U.S. economic policy has hit its greatest uncertainty at the beginning of 2025. And so as leaders think about navigating this uncertainty, could you help us understand how they might use the soul of the organization tool to really navigate this chaos and be steady through these uncertain times?
Yeah. Well, you know, first, let me turn to Warren Buffett, maybe somebody slightly wiser and smarter than me. And, you know, he actually addressed this at his last 2 gatherings in Omaha. And he said the best protection against inflation and chaos is investing in your own learning. And, you know, the only constraint is really between your ears. It's not knowing what we don't know, which Warren's always saying, that becomes critical. And so for us, we like to view it like that Formula One race car driver who said, look, man, I don't know if you saw F1, the movie with Brad Pitt, yeah. But it is spectacular. And this Formula One race car driver from Brazil said, look, you can't pass anyone when it's sunny, but you can pass 15 cars when it's raining. And so that's our view, is this is the time to put the pedal to the metal. I love chaos. I love craziness because that gives you an opportunity to pass the competition. And let me tell a quick story on that. So I was in the Middle East and I ran into this YPOer, Christine Assouad. And Christine is, by the way, a Shark Tank judge in Beirut, Lebanon. She's actually filming right now as we speak. But she opened up back in 2015, kind of the first coffee shops and Dunkin' Donut shops in Lebanon. And in 2019, they set down what they thought would be a 10-year plan to get them through the wars, the conflicts, not even knowing that there would be a pandemic. And to all of that, her competitors all shut down. She opened up 5 additional stores last year in 2024 during the war. She's going to add another 10 stores this year as there have been more conflict here at the beginning of 2025. She's done exactly what we're talking about. And it's not just raining water. It's raining bombs and bullets there around her. And so I think, first of all, it's a mindset that entrepreneurs always find an opportunity to win in any kind of chaos. And this is the time to be able to pass the competition. And then I think the third thing we've been pointing out to our audience is, 2000, the global GDP was about 33 trillion. And I think as business leaders, we should know our numbers in our world. Last year's the global GDP was 109 trillion. And so my view is if you can't find $1 million or $1 billion out of that, it is your fault.
Yeah.
In all of this. And so I think it's the opportunity to embrace the chaos. You've got to, though, continue to keep learning, which is why I'm so thankful, Ben, that you do these podcasts and these ounce of wisdom that you put out there for everybody to listen and learn. By the way, Warren Buffett, 500 pages every morning of information he's absorbing, which allowed him to make a very interesting move last year, all in Japan. Who would have guessed? But that comes from learning, which is how you deal with chaos around the globe. Now, what it has to do specifically with the soul of the business is that is the one piece that we encourage the entrepreneur, the founder, to remain maniacal about. This is what we really feel Brian Chesky meant by founder mode versus manager mode. And it's critical that you double and triple down in these times on that very thing that has made you great up to this point, and not to lose focus. And one of the things that we see is when you sell to a private equity firm or another organization, you end up taking the soul out of that organization, and they wonder why we're not getting the performance that we had before. And so we've got a tool for helping entrepreneurs discover what is the soul of that organization that has got them here, and what got you here, in this case, will get you there. And that's why it's important.
Yeah, I like the twist on that. So Verne, thank you so much for sharing that point of view. I'll tell you, I've been using soul to really help ground executives. When we get into chaos and curveballs are thrown our way and there's so much noise around us, we look for things to really help us navigate clear paths through that chaos. And I've found that soul has been an amazing tool for that navigation.
And what it reminds me of, Ben, is, what Jim Collins discovered, that kind of yin and yang of preserve the core, like the core values, like the soul of the business, like the purpose, but then you've got to also innovate the new. And so it is not either or, but kind of the genius of the end, as Jim would say.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Verne. Hey, Verne, thank you so much for sharing your time and your wisdom with us today. I look forward to our paths crossing again very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today for Ounce of Wisdom. We are so grateful to our experts and hope that this episode has been helpful to you. We'll be covering a variety of topics through our channel, so please take a minute to look around, like, share, and subscribe. Is there a topic you would like us to cover? Please comment below or reach out. Do you need help identifying pain points in your business? Check out our resources at www.acuo-bc.com. The link will also be provided below. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again on another episode of Ounce of Wisdom.